think that we, as a society, seek to think about sewers on a regular basis, but it turns out that these germ-ridden cesspools are fairly frequent in video games, and they're not exclusive to any particular genre. We found heavy action games and lighthearted platformers, both venturing into dark, oily subterranean labyrinths. The challenge, as always, was determining what makes one sewer superior to another. In these 10 games, big things are happening underground. These aren't just shortcuts to more important areas. These are destinations themselves. Once you enter these depths, you'll never be, or smell, the same again. In the early moments of Banjo-Kazooie on N64, the dynamic duo plunder the disgusting depths of Gruntilda's tower. Despite the filth, this sewer is surprisingly lively. Right away you meet Clanker, a large metal whale with the humiliating duty of grinding the witch's garbage. After wiping away your sympathetic tears, it's time to get to work, giving Clanker some fresh air, collecting notes, and getting jiggies. Clanker's cavern isn't a large level, but it's impressive how much Rare managed to fit in the space, ensuring that this sewer doesn't overstay its welcome. The sewers beneath Loot Go Lane are filled with a very special sort of grit and grime that only Diablo can do. The winding passageways are populated with skeletons, multi-armed sword swingers, and mummies. Cramped quarters make it easy to get overwhelmed, prompting caution as you stalk the corridors. It all culminates in a fight against Radament, a greater mummy capable of reviving fallen minions. The sewers may not be the most significant area in Diablo, but like the rest of the game, the rich, dark fantasy vibe pulls us in and makes us eager to slay hordes of whatever sorts of monstrosities come our way.
Let me show you the operation. Then you can ask your questions.
The Ratway, a sewer system beneath Riften, is home to the stealthiest faction in Skyrim, the Thieves Guild. Aside from providing the player with practical benefits such as the skeleton key and unbreakable lockpick, the guild's story involves a grand betrayal that ends with a dramatic confrontation. Above all, the Ratway is a memorable sewer because it embodies the spirit of the thieves so well. Amidst the dank and dark corridors lies the headquarters of a motley crew bound by a shared view of the world. It's a place where outcasts can find a purpose and home.
Down here, did you? Following the smell of entrails and rotting flesh.
The sewers beneath Santa Monica and Hollywood in Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines are nothing particularly beautiful to look at, but they offer so much more than just a moist series of tubes and tunnels. What was especially nice in 2004 was that they loaded at the same time as the city, so you didn't have to sit through another long screen to get into them. For many of the playable clans, the sewers offer a valuable escape route from nosy authorities or to snag the odd rodent pick-me-up. For the Nosferatu, the sewers are the main means of traversal, a home away from home. In order to break into Prince Shizor's palace in this retcon chapter of the original trilogy, Dash Rendar has to navigate the sewers beneath the Imperial City. Equipped with a jetpack that earlier levels help you to master, Dash can dip below the surface of the water to search for tunnel entrances and bash trash-loving Dianogas on their own turf. Managing jetpack fuel is crucial as you either rocket up or down through each grimy corridor. All the Dianoga target practice pays off as a gigantic version of the trash compactor beast wraps up the level in one of the game's most immersive boss fights. When you're a Ninja Turtle, the sewer is where you belong. As opposed to all the dark, stinky imagery we're usually subjected to, the level Sewer Surfin' takes on warmer tones, puts you on a righteous hoverboard, and blasts some kick-ass tunes. Believe it or not, being in this sewer actually makes us happy. Add to that some photorealistic pizza monster attacks, and a super easy boss fight against Rat King as he rides atop a stupid toy promotion, and it's hard to ask for more out of a simple sewer. The Resident Evil franchise spends a lot of time trudging through sewers, but the high point is undoubtedly Resident Evil 2. From the back of the dog kennel, a ladder leads to a dank corridor featuring familiar eight-legged freaks. Just past the claustrophobic confines lies a door that leads to a boss encounter with the G larva that has grown considerably since bursting through Ben Bertolucci's chest. But the most satisfying element of the sewer is that it leads from the Raccoon City Police Department to an underground umbrella lab, giving players a legitimate reason to navigate through while simultaneously showing how powerful and corrupt Umbrella is. And did we mention the epic Croc encounter? The premise of the Metro series is that humans fled underground in the wake of a nuclear apocalypse. Although the vast majority of Metro 2033 takes place underground, there is one pivotal section that stands out from the rest. The game takes an incredibly creepy and paranormal turn as you and Khan navigate through a dark, ghost-infected section of the sewer system. The conversation is intimate and haunting as he discusses the fate of the unfortunate souls who didn't survive. Disturbing shadows illuminate the dark corridors, and visions of corpses before their untimely deaths are everywhere. It all culminates with a mysterious and powerful ball of light called a Dark Star that destroys everything in its wake. Like most games on our list, The Last of Us features more than one instance of sewer-bound exploration, but the self-contained story of Ish and his survivors left us emotionally scarred, pondering what exactly happened to their settlement. Joel and Ellie, together with Henry and Sam, navigate the complex sewer city and through exploration and notes, discover a tragic tale of a man who tried to protect his fellow survivors. The final note is discovered in a house not far from the sewer exit and implies that Ish, along with Susan and a couple children, escaped the attack. The entire sequence is easy to miss for players not paying close attention, and the settlement tells a story through visual cues rather than expository dialogue. The land of Lordaeron is a dark and unforgiving place. Undead and demons scour the region, wreaking havoc and destruction, leaving only death and suffering. Deep below the undead Burg resides a place that holds some of Dark Souls' most terrifying abominations. The Depths is a cold, dark, and wet maze. Plagued rats litter the sewer, infecting poison. Slime creatures hang from the ceilings, serving as brutal traps to the careless. Ambushes await around every corner from curse-inducing basilisks. The Red Phantom, Kirk, Knight of Thorns, invades the player's world, seeking humanity for his fair lady. The Depths is also home to a horrid giant rat mini-boss and the grotesque, gaping dragon. The world of Dark Souls is all about death, and the sludge-covered steps, tight hallways, and frightful creatures are what help the Depths embrace this design philosophy in all the best ways. After a lengthy rest, our brave fellowship of tabletop adventurers returns for a brand new episode, and we take a leisurely but emotional stroll through the latest mystery from the Chinese room and our review of Everybody's Gone to the Rapture. We'll see you next Sunday for another GT Countdown.